Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I really wanted to share with you my what I'm using currently, my makeup, my everyday makeup, basically, even though I don't wear makeup every day. But yeah, my everyday makeup and what I have been loving, because I have been, I've been wearing makeup like for every week now. I'm wearing makeup every week, not every day in the week, like once a week, maybe like on Fridays or Saturdays I'm wearing makeup. So I really like that because there was a time that I wasn't wearing any makeup at all, like anywhere. But I'm glad because at least it gives me a time to like practice and to get better, because my makeup game, it was going downhill at one point. So I'm really happy that I am actually doing a little bit better with my makeup in terms of my application and so forth. And my makeup has reduced in terms of how I apply it. Like I used to apply a lot of concealer, powder and so forth, but nowadays I keep it very, very minimalistic, and I think that it has been working out for me. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the makeup brushes that I currently use. And if you know me, you know me that makeup brushes are actually my first love. I love makeup brushes. I don't know, they have allowed me to improve my makeup application game and so forth. So I really love brushes. So the brushes that I'm using, most of these brushes are from Aliexpress. Some of them are from Sylyne, some of them are from Sylyne, and the other is from Jwillscool. So basically Sylyne, Sylyne and Jwillscool. These are all the brushes from them. And then these are some chubby brushes that I got from AliExpress. Alright, so this brush, I usually use this to apply my all over like powder and to brush away, like whenever I apply the powder, I use this to brush away the excess powder that's on my face, or I use it sometimes to just pat on the powder. Alright, so this is the brush that I use. This one is from Sylyne. Alright, for my foundation I usually use this one. This one is a flat top dense brush from Jwillscool. Use this to apply my foundation. And I use this one from Sylyne to apply my concealer. So I usually go like this to apply the concealer. I use this one to blend out the concealer under my brows, over my brows and so forth. Apply the concealers right here. I use this one. Alright, good. And I usually use this one sometimes when this is clean. I usually use it to blend out this one is from Sylyne. I used to blend out the concealer, but this one I was using it to apply the black powder onto my hairline when I was wearing my wigs. Jody, no, when I was wearing my ponytails. Alright, and then these two brushes, one of them is from Sylyne and one of them is from Jwillscool. I use this to apply any powder onto my crease if I want to. It's very small. It's a 244 blending brush, and I use this now if I want to have a matte look. I use this from Sylyne to blend out my concealer. Not my concealer, the powder on my lid. And I basically always use like the same powder on my face. I use it on my lid to blend it out. Alright, so those are the brushes that I use. And the last one, I use this one for my nose contour, for my contour, under the chin contour, and also to apply my blush. So right after contouring, I usually use this one to apply a little blush here. And my blushes are basically just a little color. And these are my brushes. I also have this one. This one is a angled brush from Jwillscool. It's a 263 angled brush. I use this to apply some powder sometimes. After I apply the pencil, I usually use this brush to shade in the powder wherever I didn't see, if there's any sparse areas. And then I use this brush from Sylyne to blend out the brows, and also this one if I want to also add, because it's smaller than the one that I just showed you. So these are my brushes that I use for my face whenever I'm doing my makeup. So these are all the brushes. Oh, forgot to show you this one. This fluffy one, I just used it recently because the sponge that I was using, it was dirty, wanted to wash. So I use this to like pressing the powder, finishing powder on my face. So you can use this one, or sometimes if I don't use this one, if I don't use this, I would use this sponge, but this sponge is dirty. This is the reason why I didn't use it for my makeup application today. All right, so I have to wash this. I've been loving sponges. My sister kind of put me onto these sponges, so I really love them. I love how they apply the makeup. They make it look very simple and seamless. So as I said before, these are the brushes that I'm currently using. Let me get into the foundations. So I'm using two foundations. I'm using the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat, or the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, or you can also use the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat. They're both the same, but I use this one and I use this one. This one is more matte than this, I think, than Stay Matte But Not Flat. So currently I think I'm going to have to switch out my foundations with something more hydrating. So I have to really think about getting something more hydrating, but I usually use the Il Makiage foundation, and this one is in 230. Il Makiage foundation in 230. I think this one is a little bit dark for me currently. I think I have to get something a little bit lighter, maybe like 225 or something. And then this one is the Can't Stop Won't Stop, and this is in the shade Cocoa. I think this is also a little bit dark for me. I have to get something just maybe a tad bit like lighter, or not really lighter, but this sometimes it looks a little bit red, but it's okay, but it's just a little bit red. So maybe I have to get something. But currently right now I've been using this. The only thing I do is I apply my concealer, and I'm using LA Girl Pro Concealer. I always use mix Fawn with the colors that I just mentioned from the Il Makiage and the NYX. So I use Fawn for my brows, and I always blend Fawn with the foundation shade for the top of the brows and for the bottom. So I don't use Fawn at the top, but I use Fawn at the bottom along with my foundation shade. And then sometimes I use Chestnut, but currently Chestnut is finished. I also use the Il Makiage concealer, but this one is a little bit too dark, so most of the time I just use it and mix it with the LA Girl in Fawn to do my brows. Let's move right along. So we finish with those brushes and so forth. Finish with those. Now we're going to talk about, finish with the foundations, finish with the concealers and so forth. Now we're going to be talking about powders, okay? Good. So these are the powders that I'm currently using. I'm using this from Black Opal. This is the oil blocking powder, and I also use the Black Opal finishing powder. So this is a powder that I use to finish off my entire face, and then I use this one under my eyes. But I don't use this alone. What I do is, this is the Colourpop medium deep powder. I mix this with this, and also I mix it with my Coty Airspun powder. So I basically put a little bit of this, a little bit of the Black Opal, and a little bit of the medium deep from Colourpop, and I shake it up, and I have a different container that I apply all of the mixture together, and we use it under the eyes. And I think it works a little bit better for me for the white cast, for just the color. I don't know, it just works for me. Like, I just love that blend, and that's one of the things that you can actually do if you can't find a powder that suits you. You can actually put like different mixtures in a jar or in containers, and then use that instead of just using the one color that they give you if you're not satisfied with the color, the matches and so forth. That's what I do. Just basically mix these three together in one, and they give me my perfect brightening, the brightening that I want from a powder. All right, and then as I said before, I use the medium, the finishing powder in dark from Black Opal. So this one is the oil blocking powder from Black Opal, and this is the finishing powder from Black Opal. So those are all the powders that I use. All right, and then for like what do you say now, for contour, I know that this one looks awful. I don't know if NYX has this or they discontinued this or whatever, but I got this. As you can tell, I was using the brow shade at one point, but it's currently finished, so I am actually using the contour shades, not yet finished, so thank God. This is what I'm using for my contouring and so forth, and I use it sometimes to do the shadows and so forth when I want to. And sometimes I even use the powders. I use this dark looking one to do my on my lids. I use this on my lids when I want to, and sometimes I use it on my brows to fill it in if it's too sparse. And I was using the black for my liner and my brows, but it's finished, so I have to use something else. But if I actually find a contour shade that's similar to this, I would definitely like purchase it and so forth. So I'm using that contour shade, and then for my, so this one is the Makeup Revolution Iconic Division. This is actually one of my favorite palettes. So I usually use, this is very, very cheap too. I use this one, this shade, to add to my brows after I finish adding the concealer and so forth. I like to use this one, not my brows, my lids, eyelids. I always use this for the matte effect. Yes, and sometimes I would tap into this along with the contour shade from the NYX palette to do my contouring, and that's pretty much it for powders. The last one now, I always use this if I want to add some colors to. This one is the Juvia's Place Saharan 2 palette. This is my all-time favorite palette. My sister loves it too. As you can see, we hit pan with this one and we hit pan with this one because I use this very, very often. But this one, I love to use this for my blush. Sometimes I mix it with this one, the orange one, for the blush, just because I don't want to finish them. Alright, but I love this palette, and if I want to go with something more dramatic, I can choose any color. If I want to go with blue under eyes, I can use this. If I want to go with inner corner highlight, I can use this. There are so many nice colors for this for every day if you are that kind of person. But I love this palette because it does my blush. So it's a very all-round palette, and you can use it on your lids if you want a little like a neutral pop of color on the lids and so forth. Perfect. All right, so this is a palette that I'm currently using. I forgot one thing. Forgot to tell you about the brow concealer brush that I'm currently using. I'm currently using the NYX Real Techniques. NYX, no, Jody. The Real Techniques. This one is a concealer brush. I use it to do the concealers on my brows, and sometimes I use it for right here to highlight here, to highlight here, to highlight here, to highlight here, and wherever I want to highlight, I usually use this, or highlight or conceal, I use this. This is from the Flawless concealer set. Yes, so I really, really love it. And that's it. And one more thing for the brows, I just use this brown pencil. This is like very cheap. This is a Jamaican, I don't know if it's Jamaican or what, but this is just sold at the Chinaman store. Yeah, you can you can get them. I think this is Air Woman or Air Main or whatever, but this is just a brown pencil. You can use any brown pencil of your choice, but this is extremely brown. So that's the reason why I have to fill in my brows with a little bit of powder too. But I like this, but I have to fill in my brows with a little powder and apply some loose powder just to take away the wet look from my brows. Alright, and then that's pretty much it. And for lip gloss, as you know, I wear a lot of lip gloss. I use a Santee liquid clear lip gloss. It has aloe vitamin E. This is Santee, very, very cheap. It's currently finished, or not finished, but almost basically empty. So I have to get one more lip gloss. And mascara, I love to use my Maybelline New York Colossal Big Shot Volume Express mascara. This is my favorite. This has been my favorite for maybe almost 10 years now. literally 10 years, yeah, if not longer. For the past 10 years I've been using this since I was very young, and I love it so much. And what else didn't I cover? Oh, so before I do my makeup, I like to use this one is a Pyongkang Yul Essence Toner. So I usually just cleanse my skin, do my skincare routine, but I don't apply the toner. I don't apply a lot of toner, and yeah, I don't apply a lot of toner. I use an essence toner. So it's either I use this one or my regular toner that I'm currently using, the Rovecting, and then I would apply, if I'm going out, I would apply this bad boy here, the Can Make UV SPF PA++ 50+++ before I apply my makeup if I'm going out in the daytime. And yeah, that basically completes everything that we use for our skin everyday makeup basically. And of course I use an oil cleanser to remove a makeup along with my skincare products, and you know my skincare products as I mentioned them in my recent video. But this is basically what my everyday skincare stash look or makeup stash looks like. Hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one. Okay, bye.